again. First one of the year. So Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you're all doing good. It's been a busy couple of weeks and months for me, so I said I'd wait until I had the right energy to be having another chat. Let's see. Let's start with Sun Tzu in his Art of War. Know your enemy and know yourself. You will win 1,000 battles. I'm about to show you just how true that is, in the funniest kind of way. Alan Watts, one of my personal favorites, once said that if you're going to do something, you can't let yourself know you're doing it. Let's say, for example, we'll take his example, where you decide to give up drinking alcohol. Well, the first thing the devil does is say, hang on one second, that can't be let happen. I'm going to spend 365 days tempting you with alcohol. Where's that demon drink? Get him up there. Get him busy and on the case. And that is the case. As soon as we decide consciously to do something, our bodies, our minds rebel against the change. And they rebel against the change for the obvious reasons. Change is different, and different is fearful. And that's where Alan was going. Alan was saying, we have to do whatever it is we want to do to change without letting ourselves know that we do it, because we'll only get in our own way. We will provide stumbling blocks at every possible opportunity. And he was right. And those stumbling blocks are provided by the wonderful entity that we know as the ego. We even, in our enlightened state, fall foul to getting in our own way by telling ourselves that the ego is separate from us. We call it the ego, as though it's a third person, as though it's an entity, an animal, a thing, an energy outside of our control, outside of us. How do we get rid of our ego? Well, that assumes that it's a thing that can be gotten rid of, that it's a distinct other. But here's the real kicker. Ego is you. You are ego. It's not a cancer that can be cut out. It is an integral part of your DNA. It can't be gotten rid of. It can be retrained, yes. But the single biggest way of understanding your ego is understanding that Sun Tzu was so right. Know your enemy as yourself. He might better have said it for us as, know your enemy is yourself. You are your own worst enemy. You are the person who has always done what you've always done, and change is difference, and difference is dangerous because it creates uncertainty, and that uncertainty is something that we're not designed as humans to like. We will take any measure of discomfort to ensure survival. We do it at the moment. We have divorced ourselves from our environment to such an extent that we're slowly poisoning it to death, not realizing that we and the environment are the same thing. So the more we poison the environment, the more we poison ourselves. The more we try to control our environment, control life, control the outcome, the more we are ensuring our own suicide over generations. Let that sink in for a minute. We are committing suicide. and it's ego that's committing suicide. So ego, in its fear of change, has decided that by not changing at all, ever, we never have to adapt, we never have to evolve, we stay exactly where we are, doing the same things we've always done, and that's killing us. So that makes no sense whatsoever, which is why we have to realize that the greatest opponent to the human race is the human race. The greatest opponent to the changes you want to see, the changes you want to make, is you, is me. It's only when we start to see life clearly, accepting. This is where I will beat on about acceptance forever. Accepting what life is rather than what we'd like it to be. If we want to make a change, we have to make the change by not making the change. If I want to change one jigsaw piece, I don't change the piece itself, I change the pieces around it. So rather than trying to change the habit of a lifetime, let's say I'm a smoker, I don't stop smoking. I simply start doing things that put me in places where I can't smoke or don't smoke. Scuba diving, there's a good one. You'll find it hard to light up down there. Also, hill walking with a bunch of other hill walkers. They're not going to spark up, so you're not going to spark up. There will be no cigarettes. I'm not stopping smoking, I'm starting doing something else. And that something else that I'm starting to do changes who I am. Changes me without changing me. It simply changes how I live rather than how I act. I didn't stop smoking, I started walking. I wanted to lose weight, so I didn't join a Weight Watchers diet club. I didn't curtail what I ate. I simply ate a little less of it, walked more, and got involved in activities. I want to stop being bored by life. I take up something that gives me passion. Paint, draw, sing, dance. These are the ways of changing the jigsaw piece without touching it. This is how we get around the fact that we are the opponent. We can't let the devil know what it is we want to do. We have to do it without telling ourselves that we're doing it. When it comes to the environment, it's not about recycling and not using plastics. It's about buying things that don't have plastics in them. It's about buying less. It's about reusing more. So you see, Sun Tzu, in his infinite wisdom, gave us infinite wisdom. He just gave it to us without giving it to us. He told us the answer without giving us the answer. Much like what we have to do with ourselves. He didn't give us the jigsaw piece and tell us build everything around this. He gave us everything else and let us see the jigsaw piece for what it is, if we look clearly. But we can only look clearly if we accept life on life's terms. And this is the art of acceptance. Now, have a good day.